Let's begin.
Perfect.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Mine's already cracked.
That's
All
all right.
good.
You're the
Cheers.
guest. Cheers.
Gambe.
Who's got the
Welcome.
highest I was gonna say who's got the highest caffeine content? I'm pushing 120 milligrams right now.
I think you're going to win. I think the rest of us are at 0.
Yeah,
wow.
we're at
Sparkling
0.
water.
Back here,
geez.
shade -10.
Yeah. Well, guys, welcome back to the Doughboys podcast, where we talk all things Amazon, FBA, and business. Today, we're joined by the one and only TaylorJones official.
Thanks for having me on, guys. This is pretty
Excited
You
to
cool.
be
mean
here.
you mean Taylor Cold Plunge Jones? Is that who we're talking to?
Yeah, I've been getting into it, man.
Let's go.
Oh, I gotta hear this story. What's with the cold plunge Jones?
Oh, he goes into Lake Erie and just sits in there and just meditates and thinks about life
Lake
and starts.
Ontario.
Oh, that's what it was.
No shot, really?
I haven't done that in a while. But I just got an ice tub. I mean, Avery and I did that. We're doing that every day when we were in Miami. Dude, it just spikes your dopamine. Have you guys done it
Yeah.
before?
Oh, yeah.
I just get out laughing, dude. I mean, it's terrible.
Oh.
It's absolutely terrible.
It is.
But
it's merciless
amazing.
but righteous.
Yes.
So how long do you go in the cold tub, and then how long would you go in like the lake when you're going in Lake Ontario?
Honestly, the lake was rough because the water's always moving, so I think I only lasted like 20 seconds. But this tub I got, I bet you the water's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe a little bit colder. But the first time, 30 seconds. But the last time, I found out if I set up my camera and I'm talking, it takes my mind off of the fact that I'm freezing, and I can go longer. So I actually went 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But
That's
yeah,
sick.
highly recommend. It's great.
Yeah.
So we got to hear the story. Didn't your some of your neighbors in Miami when you lived there like threw a fit because you had it on your deck, the tub? Is that a true story?
I don't know if they might have complained. We cannot confirm nor deny that. They all I know is we had like 3 of the maintenance people come around the side of the building, and they're like with a key with a notepad, and they're like pointing up at the balcony, and we got like 2 hoses like fanning down over the balcony. And yeah, we got a notice on our door like 2 days later, like, hey, you guys get this out of there.
You can't have hoses hanging down. Nah.
I know. I was
Not
like,
allowed.
shit, this is way too strict, man. What the hell?
Amazon sellers go crazy, go hard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But no, it's good. It's a good. Business success is directly linked to how well we're able to take care of ourselves as well. And we're doing better personally, our businesses do better. And
Absolutely.
I think I'm the type of person that I've always been open to looking at different types of methods. Like, okay, what can I do to have more energy? I don't want to be tired when I'm finding new leads. I don't want to be falling asleep. Like, I want to be focused. I want to be, and like, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a good mood, like I'm finding the best stuff. Like my business is doing great,
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel the same way. I don't know if like a good mood just attracts RA finds when you're out doing the treasure hunt, but if you're having a good day, you're upbeat, you got some good music on, you have a pep in your step, for whatever reason, those items just your hands become magnets and you just find the right ones each time. And then if you're having a bad day, it just gets worse and worse.
Yep.
I
totally.
Yeah, so that leads me to 2 questions. Number 1, how do you get yourself into good days? What kinds of things started getting you to have those good days so you can just roll and find those good leads? And the second question is, when you're going to have those bad days, because my thought would be those are going to be more frequent than the good days. How do you still push through and find leads and like grind out results?
Cold plunges.
Yeah. Cold plunges. I would say in terms of like the stuff that's definitely kept me in the good mood is like obviously taking care of my health first. Like that's always been a number 1 priority for me. Eating good food, working out, making sure I've investing time with friends and family, and then usually when that's in check, like and I'm learning and I'm investing and I'm networking with my business and I'm always learning. If as long as I'm learning, like the success comes and I'm setting goals, right? And then as for the bad days, I mean, I feel like, gosh, man. I mean, I feel like the biggest hurdle transitioning into an entrepreneur from being like having jobs is like, as an entrepreneur, it's like this, it's up and down, man. Like we have weeks or months where it's like, you know, you bought the wrong deal, or like, Amex gives you, a hard limit on your credit card, or whatever, and then
Right.
or you find a unicorn opportunity and chlorine hits, and you're like, I am literally God.
Chlorine cartel.
Yeah, so I think there's seasons to business, and I think that the people that win long term, 5-10 years, they understand that, and they just stay hyper focused on the goals,
And
and
they
stay
weather the
optimistic.
storm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know you posted. It's been I think it was a while ago. I can't remember when you posted it, but I guess you had like 2 bad months back to back, and then you just kind of posted. I don't know if it was a story or a reel or something on YouTube, where you just posted and kind of talked about it and went inside of your business and kind of just showed everyone like the mistakes that you made. So one, I want to say I appreciate you putting out something like that, because I feel like a lot of the times what we see on Instagram, which is true, like it's just the highlights, right? All your
Right.
highlights, all your wins. And then that just kind of brought humanity to the whole space. And I'm sure a lot of people could relate. But can you kind of just walk us through like mentally how you kind of hurdled those adversities on your end?
Yeah, I think the first reaction that we have as humans when something's like going wrong is like we don't want to look at it. It's kind of like, that doesn't exist. But then obviously it gets to the point where it's like, okay, like I have to confront this, just like anything in life. And the sooner that you confront it head on, the sooner that you can solve the problem. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, like what's going on? I was, blowing up my bookkeeper. Like I need reports. I need to figure out like why is this happening? Why did my ROI slip so low? And then there's always in business, there's lessons in those mistakes. And then ultimately those are the little golden nuggets that we get to take with us on the journey that make the path easier as we go, is those lessons that we learn about the game, so.
Yeah. So when you're talking about this like concept, it reminds me of something Logan learned that he was telling me about. And it's like, have you ever seen those like hillside like farms in like China or really anywhere in like mountainous parts of Asia? They're all like on a terrace. And Logan was saying that's what business is like. You're like flying up for a while, and then you're going flat for a while, and then up for a while, and then flat for a while. And then you're just kind of like talking about that concept. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah, business growth is a staircase. People like to think that it's just exponential all the time, but it's definitely not. You're going to reach plateaus, and sometimes you're even going to decrease and have those low seasons too.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you know
definitely.
what could definitely help with all of it? I think Mike McCallowitz said something about this, is having drip accounts. Are you guys familiar with drip accounts?
Yeah, shout out Mike McCallowitz.
Yeah, that was
For
a
those
good
of
take.
for those of us who aren't, explain a drip account really quick.
Okay, so a
You've
drip
got 30
account.
seconds.
Yeah, so obviously, like Taylor and Logan just said, and you too, business has peaks and it has valleys. You're on a high one day and then you're at a low the next day. Drip accounts is kind of like a newer term for a savings account that can just keep you flush during the bad times.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you can afford to stay in this like growing, learning mindset because you're not like dead if you have a valley.
Exactly. I mean, look at Logan right now. He's like going through some adversity right now with his Amazon account being not shut down, but they're not giving him any payouts. If he did not have a drip account, like he wouldn't be sleeping right now.
Damn.
Or
Logan, I mean,
what-
you're here.
what
You can
happened?
talk to
He'd
it.
be sleeping fine. He can sleep
What
on
happened?
my couch.
What happened, Logan?
So first of all, what I've learned is I need to have a bigger drip account for the future. Things are getting tight. I haven't had a payout now in 6 weeks. It's getting
Oh my
rough.
God.
Yeah, so what happened? I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast yet. At the very beginning of February, I had suspected IP and restricted product policy violations on my Canadian account, which, by the way, I never use. I've never sold in Canada. They've just been building my listings there for me automatically for the last 3 years. Got to shut off now. But anyway, so I had some of those issues. I went in there. I fixed them the same day. But, my account health is back in perfect status in Canada, and they still have been holding all my money in the U.S. account for the past 6 weeks, even though my account health rating is almost 800. So it's phenomenal. There's nothing wrong with my account. I've done nothing wrong. But, yeah, we're still...
Did you call them, and what'd they say?
They're working on it. I've called them.
my
I've opened cases. I've worked with a couple firms. They don't know what's going on. Finally, though, 2 days ago, it got to the executive seller relations team.
Right. They send you those
progress.
emails. Now it's getting worked on, right? Because they're sending
God
those
bless.
Well,
emails.
they're looking into it.
I'll tell you what, man. They're not perfect, and that's I think if there's any nugget that we can pull out of this is like, yeah, drip account for sure. Like that saved me, as well. But also like, dude, sometimes you just gotta follow up with Amazon. Like I had a $7,000 shipment that got lost in November of last year in the middle of Q4, and I had to submit like 4 different cases, and I probably called them 5 different times. And I feel like that's the way it is. I feel like you have to just keep ringing them.
Yeah.
Definitely got to stay persistent.
Persistent, yes.
Damn,
Teaches
Logan, that
its
sucks, bro. That sucks. Hopefully
It's
you get your
rough.
money soon, dude.
Yeah, I hope so. It's a lot of money.
I told him once he gets his money, he has to go straight to the bank and just pull it out in cash and just make a video for the gram.
Just to flex.
Make like an IG reel,
Yeah.
with like a duffel bag or something.
Yeah, that's a good YouTube video. I
That
got
would be a good YouTube video.
$200,000 in one day.
Yes, sir.
Have someone follow you into the bank, record you asking the teller for the money, and then
D-Rock
show it
reporting
to
in.
them.
How can I help you?
Honestly, they probably wouldn't even give it to you. They probably have to call the IRS and say we need to.
IRS is going to send
Big
an
no-no.
armored car.
Yep.
Seriously, but
I mean, they don't carry that much cash in the banks, anyways. From my understanding, I think if it's over, I can't remember what the amount was, but if it's over like 100 or 200,000,
I'd
then you
probably
actually
have to
put a
call in.
request in.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. And then now we got all this shit going on with SVB. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The bank runs. Oh my god.
What's
But-
SVB?
SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank. It's like the second or third largest bank run or the bank failure we've ever had in U.S. history.
Oh, wow.
This just happened like over the weekend, I guess.
Mhm. Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, but going back to what Logan's situation, that's honestly the main reason I got into Airbnb this past few months is like I kind of felt that in June. I was like, shit, if Amazon did do something, I don't, other than like internet money, like coaching here and there, I don't really have another source of income, so that's definitely been a motivator for me. Like, okay, I have at least another stream coming in if something were to happen like that, like with what happened to you, man.
Yeah, that's super important, and that's what I'm working on now is building up other revenue streams. So, yeah, we're working on it. But talk to us a bit more about your Airbnb business and what exactly you do.
Yeah, I mean, right now I guess it's more of a hobby than a business because I don't really have like concrete numbers to be like I'm making a bunch of money. But I just have 3 leases right now. I'm living out of one of them, probably half the year at least, what. And then the other one I'm renting out full time in Salt Lake City. And the numbers say that I should bring in like 45K a year, and the rents are like 22K on that one property. So I'm hoping to make like 15, 20K on that. Hoping. We'll see. But it's been cool. I love it, dude, because I lived out of Airbnbs for 2 years, So like that was my life. So it's been really fun to kind of be like, okay, well, instead of spending all my money on Airbnbs, let me see if I can actually like go make some money. So it's cool. I've been enjoying the process of like learning about it,
Yeah.
And plus, I like the cash flow part of it. Like with Amazon, it can be a lot. Like when you're like, okay, I got to spend 10 grand today and I'm going to make 3. And then next month, I'm going to do it all over again. Whereas Airbnb, with rental arbitrage, I can spend 6K on furniture. And now in order to make 2 grand, I only have to spend 2 grand on that rent. So once the furniture's paid off, I feel like it's way more, it's less cash flow like intensive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely.
Are
So
all
you're-
of those like rentals near you, and do you interact with the guests that come and stay at them?
My VA takes care of like all the customer service. They're all, I have
Okay.
the two are in Salt Lake City, so they're close to each other.
Gotcha.
The ones in the third one is in Costa Rica, but I think I'm gonna shut
Oh.
that down because I don't think it's as profitable as I thought it was gonna be. Um,
Interesting.
so yeah, and
In a
then
different country, is that like more difficult to manage?
actually it's been great. There's a
Okay.
front desk in the building, and they take care of everything. I have a cleaner, like literally any problems I
Oh,
have,
that's
like
awesome.
they've taken care of.
Wow.
But the location hasn't been super profitable. But no, it's actually you can audit. The hardest part's really like getting a property owner to say yes.
Mm.
But once you have that, like you can actually pretty automate most of the rest of the business, the customer
Right.
service, the cleaning, and everything else. So.
Right.
So is the place in Costa Rica the same as the ones here? Like it's rented out and then you just, I guess, piggyback the rent as well with
If I
Airbnb?
wanted it, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a rental arbitrage lease.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Is this like gonna stay just a side revenue for you, or is this something that a business you want to grow?
I definitely want to grow, but I'm going to grow it slowly. Like I don't want it to take away from my Amazon business, you know, like that's my baby, like that's my focus.
Bread and butter.
Yeah. So like right now, like I just got a second EIN, and if I'm about to apply for some 0% APR credit in that business, and whatever I get with that, you know, I'll set up and be a few more in a couple months when I have the numbers back. Um, but Amazon's the priority, you know,
Mhm.
Amazon's always
Yeah.
the priority.
The
That's
cash
a
Word.
cow.
breadwinner. Yeah.
What are your strategies for getting that 0 APR credit?
Dude, honestly, credit has been a big hurdle for me the last 6 months. Amex gave me hard limits. I talked about this with Thomas, Fast Track FBA on his podcast. They gave me hard limits on my card. So like between my gold, my platinum, and my plum, I like total I only have like 45K. They don't have flexible spending, which sucks, man, because in July
Yeah.
I ran that up to like 120K on my plum, you know, and I was having a blast. And I don't know why they did it, but my strategy to answer your question, I called Experian. That was super cool. I got like 5 inquiries removed. My credit score went up like 30 points.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I was like, holy
You can
crap.
get
So
inquiries removed.
yeah,
Yeah,
I literally
100%.
just called Experian. I was like, hey, um,
What?
this is fraud. I didn't do this. You know, and I'm working with the guy, and he was on a Zoom with me, and he was
Hashtag
typing,
this
like,
is not financial advice.
telling me what to do.
wait, this is crazy.
Yeah, I want to Zoom with this guy. I paid this guy money to like help me get more credit, and he's like, okay, we're gonna call Experian. He's like typing me what to say, and I'm like, hey, these last 4 inquiries are fraud. We got a Capital One on February, blah blah blah. Da, da, da. And she's like, okay, just give us 24 to 72 hours to process this. She asked me a couple questions, and then my credit score went up like 35 points the
What?
next day.
Bro, I've
Yeah.
got like 17 hard inquiries right now.
Yeah, dude. Same. I
That's
applied for the
wild.
Capital One Business Plus card, like the 2% cash back,
Yeah.
flexible spending. I got denied like 3 times in like 6 months. I don't, you know. So that was like 3 of my inquiries. I got those all removed. Paid off all my personal credit because I did use that a little bit in Q4 to
Yep.
to make some money. So I got those all paid off, and now my credit score is higher than it's ever been. I'm at like a 652, or excuse me, I'm sorry, 752, 62. Yeah, so I'm about to apply this week, you know, for some cards for my Amazon business and the Airbnb business. Hopefully, get like 50 to 100K. That's the plan.
Awesome.
Whew. That seems like a cheat code you just gave us.
Yeah.
I know, dude. You
Seems a
can't
little
do it.
sketchy.
You can't. You know, it's totally legit. You can't do it with Equifax or TransUnion. You have to send them a letter. But with Experian, you can still call and get them removed.
That's going to be the clip of the podcast for sure.
Yeah, right there.
That's the clickbait.
Yep.
Hey guys,
Boost
this is
your
fraud.
credit score. Yeah.
Literally 30 points overnight, dude. I was like,
That's awesome.
holy crap. Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
Sweet.
30 points. That's like unheard of.
yeah.
So Taylor, a lot of people know you through the Miami Seller Conference. So could you talk to us a little bit about what that is and why you and Avery started it up?
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're actually in like round two right now of our Avery's and I's sketchy Airbnbs. I'm talking about the one that we're in right now. We're in like a really sketchy area. We always have bad luck of doing this, but the first time we booked an Airbnb together when we met in like February, I believe it was like 2021. We met through TikTok, had a couple mutual friends, and I learned a lot from him really quickly, like about systems, about automating, hiring VAs, and I was super inspired. I was like, yo, we should host an event and see if we can get some people here and just leverage the power of networking, and have a great time. Because at the time we didn't really know any other Amazon events that were like not boring and like fun. And that's kind of what we wanted to mix in together.
Mm.
So we had the first one that August in 2021, like 6 months later. We sold like 40 tickets. We lost $3,000, you know. But we kept going. It snowballed into the second year and third year. And this past event, just last month in March, or excuse me, February, we had like 160 people there. Like some big name speakers, Amazon Lit, um, the Buy Box Bandits, uh, a bunch of people. A lot of
Breezy.
arbitrage, Breezy. Yeah, we had a bunch of people. So
Breezy was the
it
best.
was, dude, it was a blast too. Like every year it gets more fun.
Can't forget to name
So,
yourself too. They had you
yeah.
talking, you and Avery.
Yeah, so it was a good time. That's kind of how it started, and we're excited. We're going to be doing some planning these next couple weeks, and we're just really excited to see how big we can get it. Hopefully have 300-400 people next year. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't know if you can confirm or deny this, but word on the street is you might get Gary Vee to show up one of these years.
Dude, we would love that. Reezy might be our plug for that since
Yeah,
he's been on his podcast. Gary V, if you're watching this, let's go.
Let's
Do it
go.
for the
Good to
fans.
know.
that would
So
be insane.
what
Yeah.
I like about the Miami as a location is like that's people want to go down there. It's warm, it's fun, there's lots to do. It's like it's working for you.
Yeah, it's definitely popping. And dude, like, I mean, most of us are grinding. Like we all work
Right.
hard, Like, and
100%.
half of us are in, snowy environments. So it's just like a
Yep.
reason to go network. It's a business right
Yep.
off, and like
Yep.
the coolest city in America.
Yeah. Honestly, it is one of the coolest. Miami's slept on, I would say.
Gotta do
Yeah.
it in Los Angeles. You gotta have a traveling one, man. Gotta hit up all the cities.
I'm not a big fan of LA.
Yeah, me
Maybe we'll
neither.
see. I'm not a huge fan. The traffic. Oh my god.
Cisco, are
And
you
it's
serious? You
dirty.
said no, Cisco. You just said let's go to LA, and then he goes, "I'm not a big fan," and then you go, "Yeah, me either." What is that, bro?
Well, it's another big city. I definitely my top city like in the US is definitely Florida. Like I love going to Florida. I go there all the time. And then I've been to LA like twice, but every time I've gone, it's never been anything great, and it's kind of a dirty city. Like Miami's
It's
dirty too, but it's not LA dirty.
Yeah, I feel like Miami's cleaner. LA's flashy, and I to be
Yeah.
honest, I haven't spent a lot of time there, but yeah, Miami's definitely the place.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. Maybe not South Beach, but everywhere else.
South Beach has its good parts.
Yeah, it does.
I saw you
But
guys are already selling tickets for next year, right? Like as a package deal.
yeah, we're doing a bundle, deep discount, for like half off, because if you bought everything this past year for the yacht, the after party, and the main event, it was like $1,500. So we one of the things that we noticed from the first year compared to the second year is not as many returning. We've had a lot of new faces. We feel like the second year compared to the first year, but this third year from the second year, it was really cool because we had so many people coming back, and we really want that. Like we want it
Yeah.
to not just be like this big event where people come and throw money and then have a big party, but we want it to be also a community where the same people are coming back, meeting new people, but also like maintaining the same friendships, and we want returning customers,
Yeah.
in the community. So yeah, we're doing it like basically 50% off. I don't think we've completely confirmed that we are going to do the yacht next year, but it's yeah, we want to incentivize people that are like fully committed to get a good discount.
So it's like buy one get one half off is like the deal you're offering.
It's you're not getting. I
It's
wouldn't
just
say
one
buy
half
one.
off, I think.
Yeah, it's just 50% off
Yeah, just a
everything.
discounted price.
But you got it. You're committing to everything, though, like the whole 2 to 3 days, whatever it is. But if you guys are interested, you can check out MiamiSellersConference.com. I believe that's
We'll
what
link it down below.
Yeah, the plug. There you go.
While we're on the plug, Taylor, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, I think I don't know if StreamYard is going to have it popping up, but it's
Yep,
Taylor
right there.
TaylorJones_official. That's Instagram and TikTok.
And YouTube.
That is sick.
I don't think that's my YouTube, but if you just type in Taylor Jones Amazon, like I should pop up.
Bro, we need more RA content from you. Like, I want to see you on the office chair sliding through Costco. I want to see you throwing like a bundle of pens into the air. I want to see that key lanyard again, okay?
Wait, what video are we talking about with the key lanyard?
Oh, I don't know. You had some lanyard around your neck with the keys on, and because you were like swirling all around, the key lanyard was swirling all around.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I don't know. I've been getting away from RA. It just feels way too time consuming.
Yeah.
You know, like, and maybe I mean I've cleared the shelf. Chris Grant, he said that he's got friends doing 8 figures. He knows like 6+ people that are doing huge numbers with RA. It just doesn't seem like. I mean, if I go out and I'm hustling for 5-6 hours, I can easily find maybe $400 or $500 profit, but I can place that in a couple of orders in like an hour on OA. So it just doesn't make time sense for me. And I'm starting to not really enjoy it as much, I don't think. At first, it definitely felt like more of an exciting scavenger hunt.
Mhm.
But yeah, right now I'm definitely not interested in RA as much.
Yeah.
You're breaking Cisco's heart. He's been
You kind
he's
of.
been saying he loves RA because it's the OG and
Where do you live, Cisco?
I live in DC.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've heard the Northeast has some of the best. Jameson says the Northeast has some of the best RA.
Yeah. Like I always tell Logan and them that because like the closest Walmart that they have to them is about 45 minutes away. I
There's
literally
one
have
20 minutes. Everything
I
else is
literally
45 minutes.
if you include like the Walmart grocery stores that are just grocery stores, I have literally like 25 Walmarts within a 45-minute radius of me.
Yeah.
And that's just Walmart's. We're not in like Target's probably like another like 15. And
How many
then
Lego
Marshall's.
stores?
Okay, 4 within driving distance, but that's a lot more than
GB.
most people can say.
Yeah. And the nice
And-
thing is if you find one deal, you can hit up the other 20
rest-
stores.
Yeah. Trust me, that's what I did with the Titanics back in the day.
Yeah.
Shout
But
out the Titanics.
I feel like RA has definitely changed a lot. Like it's definitely not as easy as it was.
No.
People are saying that about OA now too.
Really?
Yeah. I'm seeing people on Twitter, which are you guys on Twitter in the FBA space? Taylor, are you on there?
Not really. Not really.
I've been getting on there more. I'm not a big fan. I'll say it right here officially on the podcast. FBA Twitter is a circus.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm going to say it.
Can you expand on that,
It's
Logan?
just
Why?
there's just a lot of crazy takes on there. But
Really?
yeah, the other day I've been seeing people say that like OA is dying and getting harder, which like yeah, everything ebbs and flows like we talked about at the beginning. Your whole entrepreneurship journey, you're gonna have those ebbs and flows. Like it's not a reason to completely abandon something just because you're having a harder time right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
So what were you saying earlier, Taylor, about the RA getting more difficult? Like, what's your
Yeah.
reasoning behind that? Is it just because you're bigger, or is it because like actual stores aren't giving as good deals with the economy and all that?
well, I think okay, and I think that there's a really fine line because there's moments where, there's moments in OA too where I'm like, holy crap, like, but I know there's like I don't allow myself to give myself an excuse ever like oh I can't find any deals like I just always tell myself when I'm sourcing like there's literally millions of deals I'm just not looking in the right place. Where else can I look? Where else can I look? Where else can I look? And I think with RA the only reason I'm saying that it's changed is like you'll go to Walmart now and there's a toy in the clearance section that was originally 60 and it's marked down for $16.99, and you're like, oh wow, this is it, and you scan it and it's on Amazon for $16.99, and then you scan 3 other toys and the next one's set MSRP 70, but it's marked down for 24, and you're like, oh, this one's it, and you look and it's on Amazon for 24. It's almost like Walmart is like, they know what Amazon's selling it for and they're just matching that price now. So I think there's a little bit of that going on. I also think there's way more people doing this. I think it's way more accessible and less intimidating to go into a store. That's just my take on it. Like in 2020, it was a walk in the park. I don't know what the OA scene was in 2020, but I know retail arbitrage, it was like you could have one eye and 2 fingers, and you just walk into the Amazon with an Amazon seller app and anything on the shelf made money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's definitely, you're definitely right. There's definitely a lot more people doing it, just because I can remember like seeing a listing and saying like 75 people on one listing was a lot. And then that was like 2 years ago. And now this year, like it's like, if you find like for example, the Santa sleigh Lego, like it got to like 180 people on it. And then there's like other things that I've gone back to look at, like 150 people, 120 people. I'm like, what the heck?
yeah.
And it's still selling, or that's just too much? Like it's just oversaturated.
It's still selling at like a minimal loss.
Right.
So
It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's the point where you need to be able to recognize, like, okay, at 170 sellers, is it still worth buying? Because some of the Stanley mugs, I was hella late, but I still went in on a couple of the different colors because I was like, this is moving so much of volume.
It was insane.
But like, I try to stay away from some of that super trendy stuff because it's just like, I don't want to compete with that many people, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, talking about saturation and RA with a lot of people coming on these listings, the other mindset there, instead of it's difficult and we should pivot, is how can we increase the barrier to entry on this? So maybe you're not just going into the clearance aisle, but you're going and scanning every single grocery product and finding solid replenishable items. Or maybe, I don't know, you're finding a way to get extra discounts. You're talking to the manager and saying, hey, if I buy all this, can you give it 50% cheaper? There's always ways to make the current situation work. You just have to be willing to find that barrier to entry.
Absolutely. I used to do that at Home Depot, bro. I don't know. I had this pizzazz when I just started. I was like willing to do anything. And I'd go up to the Home Depot manager with a cart full of stuff and I'd be like, look, I'll take all of this, but you got to give me $5 off each one. And I'd say half of the time they'd be like, okay. Because they just wanted to get rid of that stuff. And I think that the managers actually have the ability to mark down any item 20% for no reason. They can just do that.
Yeah, 100%.
That would be true at like a Lowe's or Home Depot.
I don't know Lowe's, but I don't know about Lowe's, but I know Home Depot. They can. It's at least 15%. They can just
Home Depot exclusive.
So I used to be a manager at a retail place, and the reason why some of them managers like are willing to do that is because they have to meet a quota. There's a budget or a goal for the day and for the month, and it's kind of depending on like where they are. Because I know for me, like if we weren't hitting our goals for the month, like if someone comes in and says, give me a $5 discount on all these, but the revenue for the store is going to be ridiculous, I'll do that all day. But if I already hit my revenue goal for the month and I'm good to go, then I'm gonna like abide by the rules.
Was what you're saying. Keep trying. Like, even
you
if
never
you don't
know when
get
you're gonna find someone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even at the same store, you never know.
Yeah, and kind of the same thing with the Stanley mugs. Like I went to my local Dick's store and just filled up my cart, went there, and then talked to the manager, and they gave me 20% off for buying everything on the shelf. And the good thing is that one, they didn't limit me like Stanley's website did online, or even Dick's Sporting Goods website. I think they limit you at like 10 or 4. So I got the whole shelf at a discounted rate, and then walked out. And they even helped me put it in my trunk.
Yeah,
put it in like boxes.
That's where the money's at. Manufacturing margins, right there.
Yep.
Well, yeah. See, that's good because Dick's Sporting Goods likes money. We like stores like that. Whereas some other stores are like, oh, don't take too much stuff. Like, do you want my money or not?
I know.
Just take my credit card.
Seriously, just
wait. What did Josh do?
Trying to swipe it. Yeah, like dude. Oh my goodness, it's free money. right here. I should just put that like free money. Just give me your stuff.
That concept would drive me crazy. Like Target, when these stores are like, no, you can actually. I think you can only get 4 of those. It's like
Target.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
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 Logan-
Facts. Especially
Logan
with the
and I have-
chlorine.
Yeah.
I remember
Logan,
Target
Logan
chlorine.
and I had a saying.
limit
We
of
were just
4.
like, they don't like money.
Target does
Target
not like
says no.
money. They
I
don't
say
want my
no.
credit card.
They
No.
don't.
I never
They
bought
don't.
any chlorine from Target. I was focusing on Lowe's.
That's wild. Yeah, no, I was focusing, Lowe's and Walmart. Walmart would have the sign like limit of 6, but they didn't care. Like just
Yeah.
fill it up and you're good to go.
I did some sketchy stuff. I was buying the whole tubs and then breaking them down and selling them individually.
Chlorine cartel.
Yeah,
Did
that
you
was.
weigh it out on the scale?
No, I just threw it in a poly mailer.
Raw handed it or
I didn't do it. I had a prep center do it, but I just
What?
had I had my
That's
prep center
wild.
pack them all. Yeah,
That's
and I
wild.
just dude. I'll
Cisco
tell you what.
here.
I don't. Did my listing get shut down? Because I wouldn't have had invoices. I don't know what happened. I know that like 15% of people returned them, but I was still making bank.
yeah.
They
Hand over
just sent
fist.
you
Insane.
back. That's even funnier.
I had
They're like,
people-
This isn't real.
I got some really nasty messages. I had one lady message me. She's threatening to report me to like the SEC and like the Federal Trade Commission. She's like, "You're selling fake chlorine from China under a Clorox listing. This is terrible." Because you didn't know it was Clorox. It was literally in a clear bag with just like a chemical. Like you didn't know it was Clorox. You know?
Yeah, it's just a white tablet.
Yeah.
That's
These
wild.
Karens out here. getting
That's
upset.
wild, man. I thought your credit score story was wild. That is wild.
Yeah, dude. That's. Oh my gosh.
Did you do that with the jacuzzi tub ones? Because the jacuzzi tub ones were like tinier with like little they were just like little cubes.
I never even sold those ones. I didn't even know that was
those
a
were
thing.
great. Yeah, those
Yeah.
were great.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like
God.
like the chlorine comes up every podcast. I feel like you
It
could
does.
have a whole podcast or just a whole event just about people reliving the chlorine cartel days. Like everyone
If-
just like lights up.
If you know about chlorine, then you know that they've been in the game for at least a minimum of 3 years.
Yeah. And I think there were some good pop-offs in 2022, like the weights and the pools. And you guys would be surprised how many people, I probably had 10 different people message me in the fall of 2020 saying, "Taylor, I made 30 grand this summer. I made 40 grand this summer, but now I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know how to find anything. I sold the pools and I sold this and now I don't know what to do because it was so easy,
Right.
you know? And I think that the people that, really jump in and build a skill set and a business around this, and they have systems and they have a team and they know where the opportunity is and they're always looking for new opportunity and they're staying creative. Those are the people that stick around,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say that I would actually kind of fall under that because I rode the pool wave, I rode the chlorine wave, I rode the Gabby Dollhouse waves, the Magic Mixie waves, all those bolo items. Then obviously it started to dry up, and then I was like, all right, what do I do now? And then I really took a step back and just started to really like grind down on learning how to source differently, right? It's funny because everyone talks about storefront stocking, but I feel like I was so late to storefront stocking. Like I was doing tactical arbitrage, learning how to use tactical expander, learning how to use tactical expanders on storefronts, on BrickSeek, and then using Keep a Product Finder and scraping all those ASINs using tactical arbitrage and breaking it down that way. And I feel like if you don't continue trying to learn and improve yourself in sourcing, I mean, sourcing is a really simple thing to do, but there's a lot of different ways to do it, and you can find different things, right? Like even earlier today, I met up with Dave from OA Deals. I think he was at the conference.
Yeah.
And we went for an hour. He just broke down Keep a Product Finder and like all the different filters that you can do it, because it's the more creative you are with Keep a Product Finder, the better products you can actually find. You just have to like know all those different filters and how to like combine them to find what you're looking for.
I never even used the Keep a Product Finder.
Oh, you're sleeping, man. You're sleeping.
Is it awesome?
It's awesome. It's I saw a video of yours that you don't do much manual sourcing, so it is a lot more manual sourcing. But yeah, you find gems for sure.
Well, I do manual sourcing. It depends. One of the new methods I found this way is like when I find like a new lead, I'll type that brand, just the brand, into Amazon
Mhm.
and start there because that first page is the top selling stuff. So like let's say that because typically you find a good brand, that brand most likely has 5, 6 other leads that are on their website. But why would I go through their 2,000 page catalog and get 10, 20 no's when I can just pull up the first page of that brand on Amazon and most likely the highest profitable stuff is going to be on there.
Yeah. So
That's a good tip.
so that's definitely something I've done in the past. Do you use DS Quick View or ASIN Insight?
No, I don't actually.
So that if you either one will give you like a breakdown of the ASIN and all the information on like the main Amazon page without having to go into the listing. So
Oh, wow.
when I would do that, I would one check to see if because it tells you if Amazon's on the listing. So I would just kind of skip through those, and then it would tell you if it has like 1, 5, 10, 100 RA seller or sellers on it. So that's something that you can use to kind of qualify which ones you're actually going into. But today, Dave actually showed me a way to do that with Keep a Product Finder. Same thing, basically. And then you just make sure Amazon's out of stock, and then you can kind of see which items you want to look at based off like ratings, sales price, and how many sellers are currently on it. And if it's like fluctuated in price. So there's it's gnarly.
Yeah.
Definitely something to learn.
That's the move. Like sourcing can take so much time, and the people that are able to look at more leads and look at better leads faster, like you only have so many hours in the day, so
Right.
that's cool. I'm gonna have to check out that AZ Insight.
So AZ Insight, I think you have to pay for, but if you look at DS Quick View, that's free. A free Amazon extension.
Yeah, you should get it for real.
DS
They have a pro version that's like $20 at one time, but the
I'm
free
making
version is
note.
really all you need.
DS Quick View. I got a note here. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right. Well, Taylor, thank you for joining us today. To the viewers, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Go follow Taylor. Go down to the link.
TaylorJones
Miami Seller
_
Conference.
official, TikTok and Instagram. Send me a DM, say hello, introduce yourself, MiamiSellersConference.com. Doughboys, thank you guys for having me on. I got to ask, how did the Doughboys start? Like, where did that name come from?
Oh,
Who
go
wants
ahead,
to tell
Josh.
the
You
story?
explain it. You explain it the best.
Oh yeah. So Logan started.
Oh, yeah?
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh, yeah?
So Logan and I were out in Delaware doing Alpha Prep. Shout out Alpha Prep. And we were getting dinner at 3 p.m. as one does. And we were at this cool little Mexican place, Tex-Mex really. And we were just sending like snaps. And I think we had added Cisco on Snap. Shout out Cisco's Snap score of 85. We were making fun of him for it.
It was 18 at the time. Thank you.
It was 18 at the time, and I think he actually got butthurt about that. And so he took a pot shot at Logan, and he was like, "Logan's looking a little doughy." And to give some backstory, Logan and I had actually been getting up at like 5 a.m. to go work out like every day. It was brutal. It was brutal. But Logan was like, "That's out of pocket." So then we just kept joking about being like doughy. We got to burn off this dough, and then we were like.
We gotta go make
dough too, yes. And then we were like Doughboys, and we were joking about getting like license plates, like Doughboy 1, Doughboy 2, Doughboys 3.
So we're the Doughboys.
Yeah,
Oh
we're the
yeah,
Doughboys.
man!
Yeah.
Breaking in the dough.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I like that.
Awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now you got a good story to share how the podcast started.
Sir.
Yeah, it's awesome.